Hey, fourth graders, it is Mrs. Denton. And I just want to take some time after talking to the other fourth grade teachers to just talk about our book project because we know that some of you might need a little bit more instruction or an example to kind of go through it. So that's what I'm here to do today. So I chose, since we are all supposed to pick our favorite book or a book that has touched us, I picked a book that my students have heard me talk about a little bit before and know is my favorite, and that is the book Wonder. So I'm going to pause out of my video for a minute and share my screen with you so that you can see the project that I started. So go back to the first slide. If you notice on this first slide, I have put my book title and my name because it's a project, so we want to claim the project we're working on. On slide 2, I haven't quite finished everything. I need to finish this about page, but I have my book title, I have my author, and I have my publisher and the date it's published. Now, I know that some of you were struggling with finding where your book was published. So what I wanted to do was give an example. So in the book Wonder, when I turn the cover, I get blank pages, or on mine, you see that there's some post-it. Then you get to the next page, which is our title page. And normally, right behind the title page is where you're going to find the publication page, which is also known as the copyright page. And that's where you will find where or who published your book and when it was published. Back to the presentation. On the third slide, you'll see my summary. Do you notice the size of the paragraph? A paragraph is normally 5 sentences, so we want to think about what's the most important stuff that happened in my book. Who are the most important people and where are the most important places? What do I need to give to other people so they know what my book is about without giving everything away? So I'm just going to read my summary really quickly to you, just so you can kind of get an idea of what you might want to put into a summary. Wonder is a book about a boy named Augie, whose face does not look like everyone else's. He has been homeschooled until the 5th grade when he began school at a private school. The teachers are nice, but he struggles with the other kids at school being nice to him. August has an awesome family made up of a mom, dad, a sister, Violet or Via, and his dog Daisy. His family and home have always been a safe spot, but it becomes time for Augie to navigate the world around him. You go through his struggles and triumphs and ultimately get changed just like the characters in the book who Augie touches. Augie is just like every kid in the world, but the characters need more time to understand that and to accept him into their world. So that's my summary. So I'm going to go to the next page. And I haven't quite finished this page, as you can tell, but what I have done is I have my ideas of what I want to put down. So I know there are 3 most important places in my book. It takes place in New York. Augie's house and the school beach or prep are the most important, and so is the present day. But what I wanted to do is I want to actually move my direction. So I copy them, going to delete them, but then I'm going to put them down here in the speaker notes. So that way, do you see how clean this looks over here? So that when I want to put that, where did it happen? It happens in New York. Augie has a very small neighborhood that he stays in, including the playground. And then I would start to add more and more detail here. And I would do the same thing over here with the directions is I would copy them, and I can either hold Command C or I can go up to Edit and copy it from there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to our next slide, which is where it's the main character. Can you see where I have actually changed my character names down here? I put Augie down here because that's his nickname. I'm going to do the same thing with these directions that are up here. I'm going to copy them, going to delete them, and put them down here in the speaker notes. So now, do you see how clear that's looking? It's not so hard to read. And then my next slide is for Augie. Now, what I want to show you all is that I don't have any work there, but I started to kind of think about the work that I might want to do for Augie and Violet. And I have some other characters in my notebook as well, which has Julian and Jack. And you can even see that I've read further, and I've even marked my book with little post-its of new things that I've noticed as I've read it for the second, actually the fourth time. Okay, so I want to go back and I want to think about what am I supposed to be putting in here. So I'm going to make sure I'm talking a little bit about his physical and some of his character traits. So I'm going to just start writing what I think anybody who has never read this book really needs to know about Augie. So here's what I'm going to do. I know that August looks different than everyone else around him. And it makes others scared of him, and they don't want to be around him. But Augie is one of the most, I'm going to pull out a character trait, kind and empathetic characters I have ever met. Oh, I'm supposed to put an example from the book for when I think of some of them. Even when Augie is at school and most of the other students are not kind or accepting of him, he still convinces his mom that he should invite everyone from his 5th grade class to his birthday party. I'm going to actually go to that page in my book, which was on page 66, because what Augie says to his mom I found is important. And it says, I have to invite everyone because I don't want anyone to get their feelings hurt if they find out other people are invited and they aren't. Okay? And that was on page 66. Do you see how I gave an example from the book, but I didn't just put it in my own words. I actually opened up the book and put examples from in there. As somebody who may have never read this book, are you starting to get a little bit of a picture of who August is with me adding not just a part in the book in my own words, but also by adding in a specific quote from the book? I'm supposed to do 2 character traits, so that's just one and one example. Let's see. Oh, I think that August is also very attentive to the world around him. He notices a lot of details that I think other people would miss, And that could be because he is more of an observer in the world than a lot of his peers. I know this from the time in the book when Augie realizes that the other students are playing a game like in Diary of the Wimpy Kid. Cheese Touch. He notices that kids will not touch anything that he has touched. And when one does, the rest of the class starts laughing. Do you notice how I filled up most of the page? There's almost 2 different paragraphs. I not only talk about it where I'm mentioning my character's name, but I'm also putting an example from the book. I used a quote in the first paragraph, and then in the second one, I defended my idea by bringing in an example, but this time I just used the example in my own words. So I hope that this sharing at the beginning of my work is helping you understand how to do it and maybe feel a little bit more confident in sharing your book with us. All right, my friends, good luck. Keep working hard, and I can't wait to read what everybody has to say about their book, and maybe you'll convince me to read some other books that I haven't read yet. I'll see you later.